Welcome to the Marketing Revolution podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Marketing Revolution podcast and the Marketing Savage Facebook group, bringing you another Savage Sunday, where we're going to talk about some pretty cool shit today, because today is Valentine's Day. Most of you guys know how I feel about it. If you listen to the previous episode when my wife asked me how I felt about Valentine's Day, I think it's a little bit ridiculous. I think it's a little bit, it's a Hallmark holiday. But then again, it's also a time where we can express love for one another, things like that, assuming that we try to do it all the time. But it's a good reminder for some of us men to just stop and actually express a little bit of love, make sure that we're being the loving men that we need to be and that we should be. So, like I said, I there's part of me that's like, damn, this fucking day. And then there's part of me like that's, I'm cool with it. Right. So today on the Savage Sunday sermon, I want to talk about Corinthians 13.4-5. And man, when I read this, it kind of hit me simply because it's what we talk about on this podcast nearly every week. Every time that we're talking about motivational shit, every time that we're talking about, just how to be in life, this scripture hit me. And what I did was I jumped on Google because I forgot last week I bought a new book at the airport, and I was going to just scan through the new book and come up with different topics. But I forgot to bring it with me today. So I went on to Google and I just Googled, what does God say about love? And it came up with Corinthians 13, 4-5. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast. Love is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Isn't that incredible, right? Isn't that incredible? I mean, if you look through this one, I don't know what you want to call it, if it's one scripture, whether it's two scriptures, but let's just say you look through what I just read to you right now and you look at it, kind of like break it down piece by piece. We go into love is patient. So we talk about being patient, having faith, understanding that these things are coming to you, right? So when you do that, what are you doing? When you're being patient, you're stepping into love. When we talk about love is kind, I think we go over this in the podcast. Yes, you need to be a kind person. Yes, you should be a kind person. You always want to take the higher ground. You don't want to be the asshole in any situation. It never pays off and it never feels right. And we always know that it's wrong. Love does not envy. Think about that, man. Look at we talk about haters all the time and how they literally got to live, eat that shit that's inside of them. So they're literally digesting poison inside of them because they envy other people. Envy is even, I want to say it's a little bit more intense than jealousy. Jealousy is like, oh, dang, man, I wish I had that. Envy is like, shit, I want to take that away from you. So love does not envy. And we talk about that. You don't want to envy people. You want to build people up. You want to be kind. You want to help other people. Love does not boast. Now, all of us know, we talked about this in some of the previous podcasts. Anytime somebody is a very boastful person, they're very, they really speak out loud about themselves. That is a sign of insecurities. That means they're insecure. And because they have to continuously remind people. Somebody who's very confident doesn't have to remind people of the things they have or their accomplishments or all this kind of stuff, right? So somebody who's a boastful person is actually secretly insecure. They've got some pain inside that they haven't dealt with. Because the truth of the matter is, if you are, you're on your A1 game, you the fucking man, or some of the women out here, if you the fucking woman, right? When you step into a room, there ain't no need to brag. Just your presence alone in that room. In fact, you make it when other people go brag for you, right? When other people go, and then they're not bragging, by the way, when other people give you compliments, when other people step out and be like, hey, that person just walked in the room, right? Like that person has done some shit. Okay. So I think a boastful person is somebody who is not 100% confident. And they also have that, was that imposter syndrome. So they feel like they have to remind people of their accomplishments or boast because deep down, they actually feel like an imposter. That's a big thing, by the way. That's a big thing. And actually, like, there's some really powerful motherfuckers that have that. And I was very surprised to hear some very powerful people that have that. And my wife always asked me, and I'm probably like, I'm a kind of a super confident dude. Like, even when I was fat, I would always take my shirt off in public and stuff like that. And somehow, like, I envisioned that I looked decent with with my shirt off. And I've always been able to kind of like talk to anybody regardless of their financial status. But I think years ago I did face that, but it's just kind of been like washed out of my memory because I've had so many years of a lot of the places that I go and stuff like that, people already knew my accomplishments and they already held me at like a high regard. So I could walk into any room and sit down with anybody. I don't give a fuck if it was CEOs of big ass companies, which I've done many, many times. It didn't matter who the fuck I'm sitting in front of, I'm going to snag that room up, right? Not all the time though. I'm in some big rooms right now where I'm a fly on the wall, man, just hanging out and listening and having fun, but that's all part of growth. You want to be in rooms where you're not the biggest dog. And then obviously there's going to be times when you walk into some rooms and you're going to be, you're going to be in there with some, you're in there for a reason. That's what I'm saying. You're in there for a reason, right? So do not boast. And love is not proud. Love is not proud. That's such an interesting thing because if you look at pride is like kind of like a false emotion. It's kind of like ego driven. It's kind of ego driven, right? I still use the word pride though, occasionally. But I to me, it doesn't really mean what the Webster's dictionary says that it means, but I get it. I get what they're saying. Like pride is more of like an ego driven type thing. When I think of something that you're proud of, I think of like this badass website that our team built. And I'm like, whoa, I'm like, wow, man. Like I'm looking around at everybody in my team and I'm like, we're the fucking best, if not, we're fucking close. And that to me, that's, I guess, where I use the word pride, but apparently it has a deeper emotional meaning than I give it. So, and probably many of you as well. So it does not dishonor others. I like that, man. I mean, why would you want to dishonor somebody? It's one thing to be mad at somebody, or it's one thing to have a little bit of conflict or something like that, but to dishonor somebody, love doesn't do that. Love is not self-seeking. And what have we talked about for the longest time? That number one, when you are in business or when you are in marketing, you are to put the customers, you were supposed to put the customer ahead of you. You were supposed to put the client ahead of you. You shouldn't be out there just self-seeking. You shouldn't be out there looking to take. You should be out there looking at what you can give, what you can give. So the bottom line is, man, I'm starting to figure out this podcast is actually about love. At the deepest level, it's about love, man. It's about that core emotion. I believe love is the most powerful thing. I've had many times of meditation where I've came out of it and read biblical scriptures and Dalai Lama type shit. And I read the Book of Joy with Pastor Tutu, Rabbi Daniel Lapin, the Business Secrets of the Bible. And when I meditated on all this stuff, man, I was like, wow. Like I came to a conclusion one time that God is like created from unconditional love, and everything outside of that is things that we manifest in our own illusion, in our own illusion. It even says that like in the Bible, like when people, like hell is a separation from God, right? So hell is being separated from God, meaning everything that God has is being separated from you. And in the Bible, it talks about giving people their lies and illusions. Okay. Like saying, okay, man, hey, this is your choice. If you want these lies and illusions, then here you go. You can have them. And then that's the separation from God, because God is pure love. And that it's such a mystery, guys, but it's what's such a beautiful thing that we have to discover on this podcast on this Savage Sunday Sermon Day. Love is not easily angered. Love is not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs. Man, that's incredible, right? The truth of the matter is, all we really want as human beings, like the deepest level, is unconditional love. We want unconditional love. We're the only creatures that punish ourselves over and over again. You do something wrong, you wrong somebody, something happens in life, or somebody tells you, or the people in your life will punish you over and over and over again, right? We're the only creatures that have to live with that judgment, that level of judgment. But love actually keeps no records of wrongs. And so, you guys take that for what it's worth. Take that for what it's worth. So, y'all, let me go ahead and read this one more time for you. It's Corinthians 13, 4-5. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. Is not easily angered. And it keeps no record of wrongs. Man, that's some powerful shit right there, guys. And you want to talk about the keep no record of wrongs, right? So, obviously there's people in life that have been wronged at a level where they're going to hold a massive grudge for, quite some time. But what I've learned about forgiveness is that you don't do it for the other person. So most people feel like they're going to hold on to a grudge, and that's actually inflicting pain on the other person, on the problem, right? But you actually forgive people for you, because when you hold on to a grudge and when you hold on to that pain inside of your heart and your mind and your soul, you actually are punishing yourself, right? So you're actually punishing yourself. It's like eating poison and hoping that the other person dies. Think about that. So what is love teaching us today? What is love teaching us on this beautiful Valentine's Day? Well, you know what, guys? That's up to you. I can read the scriptures. I can interpret it the way that I see it, and I can bring it to you the way that I see it. But all of this right here is up to you guys. So what is love from the scriptures trying to teach us on this Valentine's Love Day? All right, everybody. So I got to bounce out of here. Actually got to get my lady some flowers on the way home. And you know how that is, man. And she technically already bought her own gift. I don't even know what it is. She just said, don't worry about it. I'm going to buy my own gift. Who the hell knows what that was? So anyhow, y'all, I appreciate you. And as usual, I'm going to see you on that next one.